Okay, good morning, colleagues, and thank you for the MIL conference committees accept my paper and allow me to do the presentation today. And my topic is related to meaning in life to investigate predictors of problematic internet use among Hong Kong adolescents. And I am one of the researchers which I work in Granted Christian College, and my research fellow is Dr. Leung Chi Hong. He is working in Education University of Hong Kong. He is absent today because of the duty in the university. So I will be representative to do the presentation for today's. And first of all, let me do some highlight for our research. So this study tests the perceived meaning in life and the adolescent-parent attachment as a predictor of the intent to internet addict behavior, and we apply the path analysis model to understand internet addict and related outcomes, namely like parent attachment and adolescent sense of meaning in life. The results show that adolescent-father attachment was just stronger predictors of internet addiction, with the time using the internet on weekdays, presence of meaning, education level, and the stress level also contribute to significant variance. We total collect 479 valid students from secondary school age between 11 to 19 years old. 40% are male and 59% are female in Hong Kong, and they have completed the survey we provide. Only the gratification and socialization correlate the intent to use in the internet, which in turn predict internet addiction and problems in the adolescent-father attachment and paradoxically a greater sense of life meaning. The result has an application for future research, and we would like to use this research to help us to establish a prevention and treatment plan in the internet addiction. Why we study the problematic internet, or we call internet addiction? So overuse the internet is associated problem with physical health, family problem, academic performance, and so on in the adolescents. And adolescents with internet addictions will show a low self-esteem, depression, and other problems like the poor interpersonal relationship. More likely will withdraw with their family, refuse to perform family duty, or they have a lot of conflict with their family. And we also find out that the academic performance will be dropped, and the daily routines and social life will also be affected. First of all, let us talking about the prevalence rate in Hong Kong situation. The internet addiction in Hong Kong will be reported around 50 to 30%, and that will be compared with in the US 4%, or in Europe like Germany 11%, and or even in China and Taiwan is around 8%. So it seems like Hong Kong is higher than the other countries and regions. Internet overuse and adolescent internet addictions will be somehow in a broad term, because we have a lot of different names to mention it. But anyway, we all agree that it's a conceptualization related to the impulse control disorder similar to system dependency and pathological gambling. And as many definition of internet addiction is based on the criteria of DSM-4. And over the last 30 years, although we try to investigate this phenomenon, but the American Psychiatrists Association still not yet only put the internet game disorder as a condition to further investigate. So which means that internet gaming disorder is not yet fully involved in a kind of diagnosed disorder. So that's why we need to more research to prove it is problem to the human being. And also the relationship between internet addiction and adolescent parenting attachment is we find that family function is being affected when we overuse the internet, and several family factors has been shown that associate with the internet adolescent internet use, such as the parent influence and the quality of parent-child relationship, and also the parental involvement will influence how student or adolescent they spend time on the internet. Attachment describes the relationship that forming his or her caregivers, which we all know that the Bowley's theory, attachment theory, which secure attachment will have better control and emotion from others. So we would like to examine adolescent parenting attachment is related to the problematic internet use in our research. And we find that there's one study talking about students' secure parenting attachment was associated with a low likelihood in internet addiction. Another study also show evidence that attachment may be contribute to understanding the adolescent internet addictions, which is in the main China. They find that father live far away from their family will affect the kids' tendency to use the internet. Okay, and the highlight is here. Adolescents may regard the internet as their new attachment figure or may seek new attachment figures such as online friends through the internet if their father is far away from home. So child secure in their relationship with their father was the central to the internet use, and or a father reject may threaten healthy internet use in this age. So we knew that attachment will play a role in internet addictions, and also we would like to share about the meaning in life in this study. As we all know, Stiglitz he had pointed out that there's two main dominant dimensions for the meaning in life, which is the pursuit of meaning, whether we have already find a significant meaning in our life or we are still searching our meaning, which is called search for the meaning in life. What's the relationship in between meaning in life and overused internet is we find that lack of meaning in life is a greater sense of emptiness, and then we report that it will trigger we high dosage use on the internet, and we also find that a lot of adolescents may experience a sense of purpose and specialist online they will be not experiencing anywhere else, which means that without meaning in life, adolescents they tend to be more easily to addict in the internet. Another study by Korean scholar, they also find that internet can provide the satisfaction and entertainment and help them to reduce the dissatisfied and upset with their life without the meaning in life. So based on this literature review, we have set up such theoretical framework. We think that parenting attachment and the meaning in life will affect the time spent online, and this will cause the problematic internet use. At the same time, different study already show that depression, stress, and like the education level, which means the age you are, will affect your internet use behavior. So we would like to check this model whether it's sound or not. And we have two main hypotheses, which is the adolescent-parent attachment and meaning in life will be negatively correlated with the problematic internet issue. And second will be the time spent online is the mediator variable in between problematic internet issue use, meaning in life, and parent attachment. So as we mentioned before, the sampling we have collected is 479, which is a valid, and we have drawn the sample from 264 students from junior form, and 216 is from senior form, which is Form 4 to Form 5 in Hong Kong. And we used such instrument, including the Young's Internet Addiction Test, the Chinese version of IPPA, and the meaning in life, of course, is the Chinese version. And also, we have a DASS-21, which is used to check the depression, anxiety, stress scale. And the results show that students spend more than 2.9 per hour in daytime to spend internet and 3.9 hours in weekends. And we find that around 320 students were classified as an average internet user, which means they are normal. Around 32% which have frequency problem in internet use, and only around students they are sufficient or significant problematic internet users. So around 30% is have an alert on the internet use problem. And we also find that the main reason for them to use internet is the sensation seeking in the internet. So the result we have find that we first of all use a correlation to check these variables, and we find that father attachment and mother attachment both correlate with problematic internet use. And also we find that meaning in life is negatively correlated with the students' internet use as well. And based on this correlation variables, we put all these variables into a multiple stepwise regression model, and then we use this to run the result, and we find that there are 6 factors can predict the problematic internet use, which is the father attachment, the stress level, depression level, time spent online in the weekends. And it's range from the variables range from 3.34 and to 0.42. All these variables contribute around 43% to predict the internet use behavior. And we also use a path model to check with these factors whether they are significant sum, and we find the GFI is 0.9 and then the RMSEA 0.06, so which means the model is fit and it's a goodness of fit model. So as you can see, the path analysis shows these results, which means the whole model are sound. Father attachment and meaning in life do affect the time spent online and it causing the problematic internet use. Of course, other factors is depression, stress, and education level. But you can see that father attachment and meaning in life, it seems higher correlate and can predict it to the internet addicted. So the discussion session is we try to use a systematic individual perspective to check with the problematic internet use. And of course, we run the path analysis. We found that father attachment and the meaning in life do play a significant role in the internet addicted or problematic internet use. So compared with the other research, we are more focused on the individual family problem in this research. And of course, there's some limitation in this research. And first of all, we are doing a self-report data, which means that there will maybe a social bias or disability. So in future, maybe we need invite teachers or parents or peers to counter check their internet addictive behavior. And also, this is a cross-sectional study, so we can't use a longitudinal method, continue check with their behavior and can't see the internal correlation of this behavior. And also the screening sample size is only 11 to 19 years old, which means the primary student and university student is unknown in our research. And especially for the primary student, they are more and more addicted in internet or mobile phone because of the COVID-19 situation. They need to use the Zoom online to have their study. So that will be also causing a problem for them. So in conclusion, we find that father attachment to play and also the meaning in life play a significant role, and then it predict the problematic internet use. And we hope that this study can become a major step to help us to understand the individual and systematic variables is both play a significant role in develop the problematic internet use. And thank you for your attention, and we appreciate if you have any question, or we will have Q&A later.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you,
Chen.
Susanna.
We have 3 minutes for
3 minutes.
question
Thank you.
Q&A
All right.
from the chat room. Let me ask the question myself.
All right.
I'm interested in what you call problematic internet user. How do you define what is problematic?
It's based on the literature. Actually, there's so many names we can use: internet abuse, internet addiction. But we're trying to use a more neutral terms instead of a kind of diagnose or we try to stigmatize them. Okay, problematic internet use mean that they have like in the Young's research, there are sufficient level. Like you can see here, the score is around between the 14 to 69, which means they have over the normal internet use, but maybe not yet to reach the clinically very crazy or serious internet addicted, but they are alert group, which means that they have potential be abused internet users. So we will identify them as a problematic internet user. So they will be, surely we need more care on them to support them.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the clarification.
Mm-hmm.
See, I have interviewed some students during the COVID time, and they were stuck at home, and they had class from morning to 5. So actually, most of the students during that time, I'm referring particularly to the time frame of April, March, April, till early May in Hong Kong this year. So during that time, students are stuck at home and they have internet. They need to turn to the internet for classes. So they mostly spend 6 hours at least on the internet. So I was just wondering, the research was done before the COVID time, right? Yeah. Okay. And I'm wondering, you mentioned about attachment for villagers, for children who are left with the grandparents. The only attachment to the parents are with the telephone. So I have seen very moving stories about how these children, they got so attached to the telephone. They actually are sleeping with the telephone. And that particular attachment piece Did you include any data from China?
No. In this research, we only work on the Hong Kong data.
I see.
Because it's quite difficult to, collect the data in China for me.
Oh.
And yes, as you see, we have a question: how to define the internet? How do you define internet addiction? Are you referring play game? No, we have 5 categories in internet addicted. There's like playing games, social media is definitely 2 of them, and also is browsing and sex addictions, and one more is the communications, right? Like the mediations, right? So basically, we stick on a Young's internet addict test, which is widely used for more than 20 years, and of course, his definition is based on some similar to impulse control disorder, and this criteria is commonly shared with any kind of category of internet use. Like if you have social mediations, media addicted, or you're gambling addicted, online gambling, and also sexual addictions. They share some common features. So I think this is quite more easy to measure the internet behavior instead of, we actually have some specific internet behavior survey. Like if you are sex addicted in the internet, we have another kind of survey, or if you are gambling in the internet, we have another kind of survey. We also have surveys on the gaming addictions, but we want to check with the general instead of a specific internet behavior.
Thank you. Seems like we have somebody from education, Dr. T.C. Chan, who is asking about quitting the habit after the COVID time.
Yeah, people will have
because almost everybody tend to turn to the internet during that time because we are all stuck at home. So after that, how do you help people turn away to quit?
I am not only a researcher, I also a frontline clinical counselor, psychologist, and one of my major duties is to help those internet addicted kids to or even the adults to pack off their intention to have internet addicted. And I will see 2 ways is the more efficiency to reduce their internet need. First, really we need to be normalization in their life, which means that we need to find something help them to do to replace internet become the unique and the only entertainment, the only things in their life. We must make their life more difference, the more perspective in their life. Like if you're a parent, you need to use your brain, right, to think about how can you invite your kid to do other stuff.
Divert the attention.
Hiking, divert it.
Yeah, not too focused.
And also, I think you have a meaning in your life really do help. You have goal, you want to achieve it, you will, less spend time. And also, we find that the family relationships is pretty at core. The better the family relationship you have, it's much more easier for you to, stop the kids to play iPad. Like my kid, they all play iPad every day. And even I play with them together. But when we do other stuff, when I ask them, can you just switch off the iPad, we do other things together? Because we have, I have a good record with them so far, okay? So I will be easily to, invite them to stop the, play the iPad or watch the YouTube, and then we can do other stuff instead of the whole day for iPad, right?
Right. Thank you, Dr. Chin. I think the essence that you have brought up is the relationship that can make the difference. Huh?
Yes.
You are a father of 3 children, 3 girls.
Yes.
Dr. Chin is a colleague of mine, so I know him pretty well. So with relationship, you can help the children divert their attention from being focused on the internet to bring them out to other fun things, other activities in life. Very good. Thank you.